find an angle to block, put your head on this side, start working from here with it. Last time, just one, whenever he's ready. Don't really have to do anything though, just put my shoulder in the pocket, start walking him up, block, get my head on the opposite side, start working from here like, yeah. Never goes, nice and relaxed, lads, start. I got into martial arts when I was really young, so I'm from St Helens, which is a rugby town. I started playing rugby when I was 5. When I was 8, someone came teaching judo in my school, and they basically told us that judo would help with the contact side of rugby. So for that reason I went to judo. Started training judo a few times a week from 8, and I never looked back, to be fair. I trained from 8 till about 15. Got to the point where I was training every night, mixing it with some wrestling and mixing it with some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well. I was really lucky at the time, like the club I was training in, it ended up being like one of the best junior clubs in the country. It's like developed some really good juniors and pushed them on to different places as seniors. I had a really good wrestling coach in John Mellin. Mike Grundy had trained me, was there as well. And then I was actually doing Jiu-Jitsu with Tom Aspinall's dad as well. So like, to have all them under one roof from being like 10 years of age, I was really lucky with the people I started with, and picked up a lot of good habits which have brought me through. When I was 15, I trained, 15, 16, I moved away to train full time. Trained full time for about 2 or 3 years. Didn't really like the commitment change. I used to train every night at home, but it was fun. Like if I wanted to go out with my mates on the weekend, I would. When I went full time, that was just gone. And I was only 17, didn't feel really ready for it. I had about a year out. Realised like what I did want to do was commit properly and train full time. So moved back away and then stayed there for about 8 years then. Results wise, ended up winning the British title 6 times, won the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, 10 World Cup medals. When I stopped doing judo, I crossed over to grappling because we've been training jiu-jitsu under Carlson Gracie team for about 7 years of being a full-time athlete, just because it helps with judo. Crossed over to grappling, opened the grappling gym, more just because grappling was very popular. You open a judo gym in this country, you don't get that busy. You open a grappling one, obviously grappling links in with the MMA and stuff. I'd had a couple of MMA fights as well as a pro. So I opened the grappling gym, that took off. I ended up getting asked to compete on Grapplefest on a 2-week notice because someone had pulled out. Jumped in that, and then it's just kicked on from there then, and I ended up obviously getting an ADCC European medal, going to the ADCC Worlds, representing Polaris on quintet. This will be my 7th match, 2nd main event on Polaris. I won the Catch Wrestling World Championship, so I just kicked on from there and just done a bit of everything, to be fair, by this point. Yeah, so like this is like the 7th time I've been on Polaris. The match come about just like, I've just been doing my thing, but people seem to like watching it, so like, I think whenever I fight on Polaris, we get decent numbers. I know my match with Chris Weidman ended up being the 2nd most watched event that year on Fight Pass, behind one fight, which is pretty big. So obviously for Polaris, that's really good. And then after the Chris Weidman match, they asked me who I'd wanted in a match. And it's kind of a joke, to be fair. I said Yoel Romero, and it was kind of a joke. I thought, like, there's no way he's going to be interested in doing it, and there's no way Polaris are even going to be able to get in touch with him. About 3 months ago, we were meant to be getting a match with Gilbert Burns. That was like the first one we were going to do. Apparently, something about Gilbert has got injured in one of his past grappling matches and claimed it through the UFC or something, so they wouldn't let him do it again, so he got blocked. So then they actually went to Yoel Romero. They told me they were going to ask him, but genuinely didn't think there'd be a chance of it happening at all. And yeah, somehow they ended up getting it over the line, so he's coming to Doncaster of all places. Well, like, grappling for me, like, even though it's like turned into a career, it's like I've opened a gym with it, I earn decent money doing that. I'm like, I sell instructionals, I have my own online academy where we've got loads of members signed up to. So it is a career now, grappling, like, although it is, judo was like my serious sport. So like I did judo since I was 8, and like all my goals have always been in judo. And I always said when I crossed over to grappling that I'll take the matches I need to do at the beginning, but as soon as I'm in a position, I just want freak matches. Like, my personal goal isn't to go and win ADCC. Like, even though I got a medal at trials and went to the Worlds, like, I haven't got a goal of being a Jiu-Jitsu world champion. Like, genuinely not that bothered about that. I just want freak matches, big matches, things that are going to help me in terms of business and my career and my gym. So like, I don't think for me personally, after Chris Weidman, I don't know if there'd be a bigger match for me than someone like Yoel Romero. I just think it's a absolutely mental match, which I've got no idea how it's going to go. I'm hoping he gets tired and I can gas him out. On the other end of the line, I could have get absolutely battered, and it's one of them matches. It is a risk. Like, the lad's an Olympic silver medalist as well as being an absolute freak. So yeah, I just wanted an absolute freak show of a match, and I don't think there's anyone bigger to do that with than Yoel.
From we'll end up bringing it back to that later. I'm going to go from the down block. I'm going to get my opposite hand on. I'm going to go from here, get my opposite hand on, and then I'm going to work to my side. From here, I'm going to have inside position. He comes back inside. It's my job to come back in, and that's your fight throw. You get this, and you're going to make good stare. You're going to come to a single. Or you make good stare, and I can run a knee tap. Running this way as well. Just going off that step. Got the down block. You can shoot, you can catch it. No shot. Start building some connection here. Go 1, pop. Snatch up your single, snatch it up. This one's palm down. If it's palm up, he does a foot stomp. We're going to lose it easy. Palm down. We can reinforce it with his hands. He does a foot stomp. A lot stronger now. Yeah. Or I can make him step the same way. And just dropping my right hand inside, and my head position's important here. I'm running, passing them legs as well. Yeah. You go knee block or single leg, so I can make him step. Go a couple of minutes. Start with your down block though. Good position.
For grappling, I never make any training about my opponent. Like, I find like I am best when I train a certain way. So like, one of the reasons we went to Thailand was because I know it's just absolutely full of people coming from everywhere. Very similar to when we used to do camps in judo. So if we used to do judo camps everywhere, all over the world, and you'd go and you'd have a Russian team in that corner, you'd have a Dutch team in that corner, Germans over here, Japanese over here, and everyone would fight different. And what that does, I find, is you can't fight a certain way. So I think in Jiu-Jitsu, more than I've ever seen in any other sport, it's very easy for me to get stuck just playing a certain game when you're rolling with certain people who just do the same things. And I kind of lost, 1, I was getting a bit bored of it, a bit stale. And 2, I kind of lost like being reactive. Whereas with judo, it's like he's fighting so different to this lad from different country, he's fighting so different to this lad. So you can't pre-plan what you're doing, you kind of got to put yourself in the pocket, be reactive. And I find when you put yourself in the pocket and you're training like that, you progress so much faster. So one of the reasons we went to Thailand was because there is so many people from different places, so many different styles. And it's been perfect. It's been putting myself in the pocket, fully engaging in all areas, not really worried where I'm landing, because I do feel like I'm pretty good in all areas now. I've been working a lot on the bottom, because obviously me coming from a judo background, there's very little done on the bottom. It's more like, well, there's nothing done off your back. If you're off your back in judo, you're just wrapping them up and wait for the ref to stand you back up. I've been fine until I've got to like your massive names, Luke Griffith, Kyan Duarte, Nicky Rod. Like, although that was a draw, it's like I've been fine with them until you're stuck underneath them. So I've been working a lot on that. Ben, to be fair, Ben Royal, who runs Phuket Grappling Academy, where I've just been, I didn't even know. When I got there, like, I realised he had an absolutely great style for me. He's like an ex-MMA lad, really experienced, and has a load of good anti-wrestling style get-up stuff from the bottom, which perfect for me. I'm never going to play like a jiu-jitsu style guard, but he had a lot of unorthodox wrestling style stuff from the bottom, so I brought a lot of that back with me. So yeah, like, I've not changed anything. I've just put myself out there and got more different bodies, so I'm kind of comfortable with everything. Because yeah, my plan for Yoel is to basically put myself in the pocket, which he's probably gonna lever me as well, like Weidman did. But that's part of my game. Is like, if he throws me, it's to scramble, and if he gets tired in them scrambles or makes a mistake, like, capitalise on that. So I've got no strategy other than put myself in the pocket, put him under as much pressure as I can, and see how he reacts to that pressure. If he can take it and he's mixing it up as well, it should be like another match of the night. If he can't and he makes a mistake, I'll just be looking to capitalise on it. I'd choose an MMA lad all day, just for the simple reason that these are, like, I say this all the time, like, these are shows. So, like, I think some people in jiu-jitsu get a bit confused, like, where, like, they don't see it as a show. They just see it as like they've got to win. And it's like, honestly, I just think it's such the wrong attitude. Like, I think if you go on a show like Polaris and all you're trying to do is win, honestly, if you win, but it's shit, like, nobody cares at all, and you do no numbers, so Polaris are not that bothered about getting you back on. You're not going to get paid more next time. You're probably never going to move up the card next time, which is why, look at the card that we're on in Donna. There's some unbelievable grapplers on the prelims, and they've been on the prelims about 8 times. And I do think that's because of the way they compete on a show. Like, I'd say, like, if you go to an ADCC trials, it don't matter at all how you fight. You just got to win. If you win every match on an advantage and you get to the Worlds, no one cares. You go into the Worlds. Whereas, like, when you get on a show, for me, it's genuinely just about putting a show on. Like, it's just got to be mental. I find if I fight a jiu-jitsu lad through and through jiu-jitsu lad, it's going to be nothing more than me trying to pass and him trying to retain guard. He's probably going to try and catch me leg on the off chance on the way through. I clear my knee line, get out of it, and we start again. And it's not the most entertaining match in a 10-minute window. And what people don't realise is when some of these jiu-jitsu lads are unbelievable on the back. Like, you'll watch Gordon. There's a reason he has a no time limit match, is because sometimes it can take him 15 minutes to pass guard. Like, we have a 10-minute window, and if someone who's really good is intent on not letting you pass guard in a 10-minute window, it's fucking very hard to pass guard. Whereas with an MMA lad, you know what you're getting. Like, the game to wrestle, you take them down, they're going to try and bounce, because obviously for MMA they're never going to stay on the bottom because they'll get their head smashed in. So they're all looking to bounce. There's a million scrambles in there, they're super fit. I find, like, Weidman was ridiculous. Like, that's one of the most tired I've been in a grappling match to date. He looked tired from 2 minutes in, but his pace was just going up all the way through. So obviously them lads are, like, mixing striking with wrestling, bouncing up off the floor, and they've got to be ready to strike again. Whereas grappling, we know there's places we can rest. So I find when you fight these MMA lads, there's no rest, it's just relentless, which is exactly what people want to watch on a Saturday night in Doncaster.
Last one, just off that angle, we found this position, just being comfortable here. Yeah, like, you're on with someone who's good, judo style stuff, and you end up in this position. You want to be able to kill the hip throw, sit in the pocket, be comfortable killing it. And also, if you get thrown, it ain't the worst thing in the world, because I've got the underhooks. If I get thrown from here, that should just be starting my scramble to get back to a single. Yeah, so first, if I kill it, the basic rule here to kill it is my hip line's lower than his. Yeah. If he tries to throw me with an hip throw, first I've got to squat. Yeah. I love an hip throw. If I'm trying to throw you with an hip throw, my hip line needs to be lower than yours to start picking you up. Yeah. If my hip's not lower than yours, I ain't going to pick you up. Yeah. So on my side, my first start, as he turns, to get my hips lower than his, that's my first thing. Now I've killed it, I took all the momentum off. From here, I'm going to search for that far elbow and pull it to me. Because for him to throw me, we'd say, tell the time, he's trying to lift my wrist in front of his face here. So that puts all my weight in my toes. Yeah. So I don't want that to happen. So I look for this elbow and I pull it to me. So break this. If you see that, you ain't getting thrown forwards now. Yeah. Now I want to lock that in. So come off the tight weight and come here instead. Now I don't want to do anything stretching. So bring your left foot in and a hook here. Once I've got this, now I'll take my heel up my arse. I'm taking down that way. Yeah. That's one. He turns. Drop first. Literally like this. Super heavy. Start blocking into him here. From there, last thing is bring this in so I'm not stretching. And I literally just take my right heel to my arse and roll far over the other side. Here. Now in a good position. If he's clever, I get here, he's turned, I've killed it, and I've locked everything up. He'll know that I need to break his posture. I need to do what I've just done. So he's going to stand up. He stands up, and we're going to tight waist again, step, take him this way, and just use his momentum. Worst thing happens, I get levered. I get thrown, I drop the tight waist to a single, come straight up, nice and dogfight, up, push, switch, start coming here, or I come from a single to a tight waist, get into two knees, middle of the back, block, start limp arms. When you know that you can kill it by dropping, you're comfortable in the pocket, or if you get launched, you're just in dogfight. Yeah, it's not that bad of a thing. So on one he turns, one. No matter what we're doing. Here. 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 Throws, man. You've got inside position here. Come one. Come up. Switch. Get to the back end of it. Yeah. Last block, lads. Let's go.
And when I was an athlete, I didn't think. Like, I was just so selfish. Like, I think you gotta be. Like, when I was full-time judo, it was just judo, and like, my head was, which isn't even realistic now. It's like, I thought, I'm gonna go to the Olympics, I'm gonna get an Olympic medal, and I'll live off that for the rest of my life, which it doesn't even work like that anyway. Like, I know people who got Olympic medal in London, and they're a PE teacher now. Like, it don't work like that. But in my head at the time, it was, I'm gonna go to the games, I'm gonna medal, I'm gonna live off that for the rest of my life somehow. I had no intentions of being a coach. Like, even when I moved to Hull, I moved here because I had no qualifications, so I left home so early to train. I got offered a job here to teach wrestling for a rugby team. Even then, when I moved here, I didn't even think that I could open a gym. For some reason, it just wasn't even in my head. So only because there was no good training in Hull, I opened my own place predominantly just for sparring twice a week. Just to like keep my own head right, because I'd gone from training every day, twice a day, to just lifting weights a couple of times a week and just being absolutely bored out of my mind. So we were sparring a couple of times a week, it got a bit busier. We added a Saturday, it got a bit busier. People started asking me to show them a couple of things. And before I knew it, I kind of fell into this bit of a coaching role. 3 nights went to 5 nights, and 5 nights went to full time, and I got rid of my job. And now, like, it's the best thing I've done. I enjoy coaching now, genuinely. 50-50, if not more, than competing. I find when I get a big match coming, like a Yoel match, I get really excited about it, and I do fall back into this routine of training twice a day, eating well, sleeping well, drinking a lot of fluid, like doing everything properly. But I am genuinely just as happy, or if not more happy, when I don't have a match, but some of the other lads have got some good matches and some good fights, and I can really put it on them and make sure they're getting everything they need. So I'm more than happy now, and I know I'm going to be content, which is a big thing for me, because I wasn't before, that whenever I do stop grappling, putting everything into this place will be like absolutely no problem at all, and I'll probably enjoy it more than what I'm doing right now. So like, this gym is still, like, it's quite a well-known gym now in this country, and we get a lot of people travelling over, doing camps here. We get a lot of people staying here for 2 or 3 weeks at a time. We've had a couple of people even relocate to Hull. Hull being a place that like not many people actually come to. we've had a couple of people actually relocate here from a lot better cities just for the training. But in actual fact, like, the gym's actually still quite young. Like, I think we've been open like 4.5 years in total. 2 years of that being in pretty bad facilities, like, and not even being a proper gym. So we spent the first 2 years where I was working a job alongside it. I think when you're working a job alongside it, you can still run a decent gym, but obviously your job is your main income. So your gym's secondary. Now this is my full-time job. I love doing it. I'm in here twice a day now. Can actually give people a lot of attention. Even though I do compete at a good level, like, I am still predominantly a coach. My training involves me just helping the lads, jumping in with the lads, sparring with the lads. My training gets a little bit more serious, quite funny when I go on holiday. I'll pick where I go on holiday, places like we've just been to Thailand, because the training's really good there as well, so we kind of mix 2 in 1. So yeah, the gym's been open about 4.5 years now. It's been full time about 2.5 to 3 years. Obviously we had COVID in that as well. What we do here, we basically grapple twice a day, every day nearly. So a session like we've done this morning, our sessions more or less follow the same format every time. So it'll be 5 to 6 drills, positional rounds, open rounds. The drills can change between being floor-based, passing, sweeping, submissions, or can be wrestling. We do that Monday morning, Monday night, Tuesday morning, Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, Wednesday night, Thursday morning, Thursday night. Friday we have an open mat where it's free to everyone come and spar. There's another grappling class on a Friday night which is just technical, so obviously we sparred through the day. We wrestle and grapple on a Saturday morning. And then for the MMA lads that train here, they kind of get more specific. So rather than being the actual designated MMA classes, basically the lads, if they've got nothing coming up, will just grapple. And when they've got things coming up, when everyone's doing their passing drills or jiu-jitsu drills, they'll do like specifics on the wall, shoot boxing, stuff that they need. And then within the schedule, there's MMA striking on a Tuesday night, there's boxing on a Thursday, Saturday and a Sunday. And we're quite lucky that we have decent links with some good gyms in the areas. So the top lads that we have here, MMA, will go to Bag Company and spar Thai boxing on a Monday morning. And obviously they've got some like very, very good level down there. And then they'll go across to Danny Mitchell's gym in Leeds, AVT, and get some MMA rounds on a Friday. So although there's not that much going on in all, we've kind of got everything we need here. We've pretty much nailed it, I think. And we've had 5 now on Polaris. We've only been open 4.5 years. That's probably the biggest grappling show in the world. And Hossein's just signed for a massive MMA promotion. So in the space of the time we've been open, it's going pretty well.
Just engaging, just being in the pocket, you're going to start here. It's locked in here. On go, just fight from here. You want to secure a takedown. But you want more than a takedown, you want like a point scoring position. So try and work to side, mount or back. If I take Jay down, let's say I took him down or whatever, yeah, I'm here. And you start on the finish like this, I can carry on from here till I get side, mount or back. You take him down straight into side, mount or back, you've won. We get straight back up. Just start here, try not to for the first block. You only do a few of these, try not to go like this. You start normal wrestling, I actually want you to start playing from this position. You can definitely start loosening the grip and dropping from here. But try not to separate. Yeah. Side mount or back. So like I said, if you take him down and he lands in a guard, pass that guard. Get side mount or back.
If you were starting out now, a youngster, I'd say, one, genuinely do your research. So there's a lot of good people now. Like, if you looked at every area in the UK, I reckon there's at least one person who's very legit. Whether that be as an ex-competitor or fighter, or whether that be a coach who's just developed some really good names. Because I don't believe you have to be a great fighter to be a good coach. But I think you either have to have been there and done it, because there's a lot of things you can get out of that. A lot of experiences and knowledge you can get out of that. Not just as a coach, but how to cut weight, how to deal with the stresses of competition day when things go wrong. Because I've seen it a million times, you go to a comp, something as small as you're meant to be fighting at 2 o'clock and then the last minute they move you to 6 o'clock and people's head fall off. They don't actually want to fight anymore. It's mental, but just how to actually manage everything is a big thing, as well as being a good coach. But then if they're not a good competitor, then they might have developed some good competitors as well. But I'd say number one, do your research. Make sure you're starting in a good place. And then once you've got that good place, I'd just say be consistent, mate, because it's genuinely so simple, but it's just very hard to find. Like nowadays, for some reason, it's very, very hard to find people genuinely who will train twice a day, every day, to reach the goal that they want to get. It's I run a gym now, so I have so many conversations with different people coming in, saying I want to fight, and I'm like, right, if you want to fight, I can promise you that I'm here twice a day, every day, and I'm all in. So all I want back from you is the same. And you get it for about 3 weeks. They realise it is a shit lifestyle, because it ain't enjoyable. Like, you've got to train in the morning, you've got to train at night, you've got to eat well through the day, you've got to go to bed at the right time. When your mates go out, sniff a load of coke and have a beer, you can't do that. It is shit. And I find there's only a very few people that will do that now. So for me, it would just be find the right place, start in the right place with good people, turn up every day. And there's no secret, like there will be people a lot better than you at the beginning. If you start training every day, twice a day, I can guarantee you'll catch them up, because there's not many doing everything right.